Side-scrolling 2D beat-em-ups go way back, like yours truly. So when I saw Dust on the Xbox Arcade, I pressed the yes button.
And so did I. The demo button, by the way. Once I saw a review from Toonami, I had to download this game and I just had to go for it. Although I did heard about this game through gaming trailers, once I saw Toonami's review, I just had to get into this game. Enter Dust in Elysian Tail, a side-scrolling platformer game with RPG elements to it. Developed by Humble Hearts, a studio I'm not too familiar with, you are told about a war where a single warrior goes and defeats an entire army by itself and perishes to the hand of a child. You wake up deep in the forest with amnesia as an animatronic animal called out by a sword named Aura, who seems to call you Dust and knows who you are. Accompanied by the Nimbat, Fidget, who is, in my opinion, the best character of this game, the three then journey off together throughout the lands of Falan to reclaim Dust's lost memories and find out who he really is. You start off in the Glides, which is basically the tutorial of the game. It teaches you about the controls, the combat mechanic, and Fidget's attacks. More on that later. During your travels, you'll come across a bunch of giants and reach Aurora Village. The mayor of the village tells you about the monster attacks and wants you to find out why the monsters are attacking. You then journey across the Dayland village where you meet a Moonblood named Fuse who has gone crazy. After defeating Fuse, he tells you a little bit about yourself and basically pairs off, which is one of the sad moments of the game.
Farewell, warm blood. Ashes to ashes.
Dust to dust.
The gang returns back to the village and speaks to a young girl named Ginger, who's not too fond of Dust because of the outfit he's wearing. The last time she's seen an outfit like that, her village was being under attack by an assassin. Coincidentally, the village right now is under attack by 3 monsters, and the gang agrees to meet up in the Sorrowing Meadows. And seriously, there's only 3 monsters attacking this village, because if you walk around, there's no monsters in sight. The 3 then travel underground and follow a little boy named Boatpo back to his village. They then explain to Dust that the healing waters have gone dry and their paw is very sick and needs him, and that's why the monsters have been attacking. Dust then travels further down deep into the caves to find out why the waters have gone dry. They then come across the Guardian, Lady Tethys, who doesn't like to be talking to so casually. She then explains to Dust that she turned off the healing wells to try to stop General Gaius and his crew from campaigning over the world. After knocking some sense into her, she then turns back on the water and tells them Dust that the life threat of Bopo's father is fading soon. They then find out that Bopo's father did not make it, with Dust taking it hard on himself.
We failed, Fidget. We weren't fast enough. Damn it! We weren't fast enough!
Bopo's mother then tells Dust not to blame himself as he did all he could, with Fidget wondering why the outcome was what it's like. Aura then explains to her that life will not always be how you would like it to be. They then attend Pa's funeral and say goodbye to Bopo, promising that they would one day come back. The gang then travels on to the Sorrowing Meadows, finding out that they can't go any further because there's a force field blocking their way to Ginger. They then travel through the Sorrowing Meadows and meet Cora, a character they met earlier. She then asks you to travel through 4 different matches, collecting an item from each of them. During your travels in the match, you'll come across a ghost who Aura can't touch because it's from a different world. After collecting each item, Cora then explains to you that the ghost is none other than her husband, who is angry at the life that he lives and wants you to put his soul at ease. After defeating the ghost then calms down and reverts back to his old self, Kane, who explains to you about the Moonbloods and tells you about your souls.
Twin souls? What are you talking about?
You did not know? You possess a rare gift. 2 souls joined as one. Never have I seen it before.
With the barrier down, the 3 begin to scale the Blackboard Mountains to catch up with Ginger. Also note that this place has some very acrobatic wolves. After climbing to the top, they then set to a village where Gaius the soldier seemed to be stationed. The soldiers seem to react to Dust, calling him a soldier named Cassius, who they seem to remember. After defeating these soldiers, Dust then travels into the only house in the area and finally remembers who he is.
Ginger. She was sleeping right here. On the night I came to say goodbye. But I hesitated. I didn't want to wake her. Didn't want her to worry about me. She couldn't know what I was about to do.
Dust, what are you saying?
She couldn't know that I was about to go avenge our parents.
You mean you're... But how? What's going on here?
I remember now. But how? How can I have helped destroy this village, but be a victim of that same act? That's impossible.
Only impossible for a creature with a single soul.
Ginger.
Those eyes. I know those eyes.
So, Mithrarin, you finally see the truth.
The Moonblood Elder explains to Dust that he's two souls combined into one, the warrior Cassius and Ginger's brother Jin, called Mithrarin.
You destroyed my village, murdered my friends and family. You will not survive this day! I take no joy in slaughtering one as young as you, child. But you have forced my hand.
The Elder then explains to Dust where General Gaius is and tells him that the final battle is near. He also tells her where the Moonblood camp is, with Fidget not liking where it is.
Oh, I know. How about a peaceful meadow? Or a quiet forest? Or someplace that doesn't explode every 10 minutes?
Dust, your friend seems awfully tense.
No, I'm fine. Come on, let's go to the Blowy Up Mountains. Really, I'm serious.
The gang then travels to the Moonblood camp, which is located in an active volcano. Don't they know that the sheer amount of heat alone can kill them? But then again, it's a video game, so I really can't complain. Before the final battle takes place, the Elder asks you to help out an engineer to see why there's no power or water into the camp. He asks you to go below to check on the generator and water pump. After powering up the generator and burning out the vines to the pump, it is time to step off into the battlefield, where the final showdown is about to take place. After traveling through the hectic battlefields with an infinite amount of Moonbloods, seriously, weren't they supposed to be extinct? They just keep coming. You finally reach General Gaius, who tries to convince Dust that he is none other than Cassius' once and best friend. Fidget then explains to him that he is not Cassius, he is Jin, with Dust giving an awesome answer.
Jin is dead, as is Cassius. Their souls now live within me, constantly reliving that fateful day. Forever in battle, forever at odds. But as long as I live, I still have a choice.
Then what are you?
I am justice incarnate, brought to this world by forces beyond your comprehension. A cleansing storm to sweep across the land and purge it of your foul presence. I am dust, and your campaign ends here now. Throw down your weapons and surrender, or you will face an enemy unlike any this world has ever seen.
Cassius, please, don't do this. You know you cannot win.
Let's end this.
After Dust's awesome speech, it is then time to fight the final boss of the game, General Gaius, who you have to fight 4 different times. After the final hit, the volcano starts to erupt badly, with Dust taking some major damage. General Gaius then finally understands that Dust isn't the person he once knew.
Yes, I am.
General Gaius then tells Dust to cherish the world that they once loved and throws himself into the volcano. Dust, who is badly injured, basically tells Fidget his final goodbyes.
Dust? Dust!
Fidget, get out. Go.
Not without you. Come on, Dust. Get up. We did everything right, Dust. Everything we were supposed to do.
And sometimes that's not enough, Fidget. When the life threat calls. Fidget. Thank you.
Goodbye, Dust.
Dust.
After Dust perishes into the volcano, the Elder gives a speech of thanking Mithron, or Dust as we all know him, for his sacrifice in helping the Moonbloods live their life. Ginger and Fidget then notice the Soul and Arin fly off into the distance with Fidget giving chase. The village elder then wraps up his speech, hinting that the souls either are going to be reborn or this game is going to have a sequel. And I hope it is a sequel, but then again, I'm always wrong at this type of stuff. Thus ends the credits roll, and we are treated to a nice piano piece in the ending credits. And I gotta say, this story was actually good. You don't get too many stories in side-scrolling games or platformers, which we don't really get too much of those nowadays. It's a nice change of pace, and I think it was one of the best Xbox Live Arcade titles of 2012. It brings a perfect blend of platforming with a nice style of fighting to it, blending between the two with RPG elements mixed into it. And just like in RPG fashion, during your travels through the world of Falana, you'll also get upgrades to help you along the way. The dash attack, which allows Dust to do a cartwheel and dodge attacks, the Dust Storm and the Aerial Dust Storm, the main two attack functions of the game, which will help you out along with Fidget's attacks. Mastering this is quite easy. The Crouch Slide, which allows you to slide under gaps and is perfect for a certain enemy, I'll name that later. The Grip, which allows you to climb vines. I'm thinking about that, he should be able to do that naturally. Later on, you'll get the Double Jump, which is a godsend in a platforming game. Seriously, a double jump is just the most useful thing in the game. And last but not least is the Boost Jump, which allows you to jump very high and reach places that you couldn't get to earlier in the game. Each upgrade brings something new to the table and is a godsend and are very easy to master. Just like in every RPG, every enemy you defeat gives you experience points, and the higher your chain bonus is, the more experience points you get. In the top left corner of your screen is your experience bar. Once it fills out to the top, just like in Pokemon, you will level up and can use a skill gem to one of your stats, either health, attack, defense, or fidget. Each level up nets you one skill gem, with your max level being 60. Also, like in most RPGs, scattered throughout the world are treasure chests, which you have to do a button matching minigame to open up. Most treasure chests contain food items that will help you along the way, but in order to open up the treasure chest, you'll need a treasure key, which is located everywhere around the world. Food helps you out during your battle, as it can restore your health, which is godsend early on in the game. Each food restores a different amount of health, and some also give you status elements. You'll also find chicken in every wall that you destroy, which kind of reminds me of the pop-ups from the Castlevania games. But then again, the developers of the game wanted this to be like Castlevania as much as possible. Enemies not only drop money and food, but they drop blueprints and material items where you can sell them to the shopkeep. For each item he buys, he can then later restock the items just in case you run low, with Fidget giving you a nice reference to another game.
Ah, he'll buy them at a high price.
Yes. Yes, I will.
Thank
During your travels on Archer's Pass, you can come across a blacksmith named Haley, who can craft items out of the blueprints that you've gathered, but in order for her to craft the items, you need the materials for them. You should be able to buy them from the shopkeeper or just grind the enemies for them. Just in case you don't want to keep coming back up to Archer's Pass, she'll send you to get a transmitter lost in the forest, and you can craft your items from her anytime you want to, and it's a godsend when you're traveling through the final part of the game. When you're not doing the main quest, you're either doing the mini side quests that the game offers to you. Whenever a character has a leaf over their head, that means they have a side quest for you to do, which mainly always require you to find the item deep inside of a level. My favorite one being the Giovanni one, where you can choose to throw his clothes into the poison ivy, and later on watch him scratch in agony. Also located on your journey is trial modes, where you have to go through an obstacle and nab as many points as you can, with the max number of stars being 4. The more stars you get, the better the item is. Also located through your journey is a cage with 4 locks on them. While some are easy to find, others you'll have to use certain skills to get to. After doing a much longer button matching minigame, you'll unleash a friend from another Xbox Live title and gain 5% health bonus to you. Each friend will also be in the sanctuary where you can go to where they're all partying. The graphics of this game is just gorgeous. The backgrounds are detailed beautifully, and the music tracks go well with every level in the game. Seriously, there's not a track in this game I don't like. If you have time, go on the internet and listen to some of these tracks. I can recommend this to any musical lover out there. And while Dust is the main character of the game, I think Fidget is the best character of this game. Not only is she very useful on the battlefield by combining her attacks with the Dust Storm used to annihilate enemies, later down the road she can learn Fuse's fire attacks and Lady Tetris' Thundershock, but it's her personality that makes me fall in love with her. Fidget is always providing comical relief, and she can be outright evil at times.
That is a lovely singing voice.
Stop, Fidget. Just stop.
Don't foreclose on his face.
What?
You know, it's like he didn't pay the mortgage on his face. Then I bite it off. Foreclose. Okay, never mind.
And then there are times where she can be outright serious, like when Dust finally regains his memory and she questions why should she follow him into the final battle, or when he finally confronts General Gaius and he's confused and she reminds him who he really is and what he fights for.
If I'm gonna follow you to the literal end of this world, I need to know who I'm following. And why. Didn't matter!
Why do you keep saying that?
Because you're not just Cassius! Jin didn't kill those people. Jin saved Aurora and Mudpot Village. Jin stopped Fuse, saved Lady Tethys, and now he's the only thing standing against General Gaius. Cassius would destroy the Moonbloods. But Jin, he would protect them.
When a side character like Fidget is done right, it not only adds a lot of depth to the story and dialogue, but it makes the game far more enjoyable to play through. The only complaints I have about this game is the boss battles. It kind of reminds me a lot of Mario. Lady Tethys and Fuse are both piss easy and go down just by using Fidget's attacks. The only boss battle I find troubling is Kane, because he constantly always silences Fidget. Oh yeah, there are status elements in this game, like poison and silence. Silent, you can't use Fidget attack. General Gaius is also piss easy. I also wish there was a little bit more variety to Dust's physical attacks, instead of just pressing XXX. He only has about 3 combo sets to him. But other than that, this game is a must-buy on the Xbox Live Arcade title. It's one game I can truly recommend to platform lovers and RPG fanatics. If you're curious, download the demo and give this game a try. I highly recommend it to everybody.